So one of their favorite arguments for white supremacy's existence is but slavery. And I'm just going to clear it up now. Slavery was not supremacy. It was fragile men with whips. If you have to chain a people, steal their language, brand their bodies, and pass laws to make them less than, that's not supremacy. I'm just clearing that up now. It's spiritual terror management, because you don't enslave what you think is beneath you. You enslave what frightens you into silence if left free. Slavery is not proof of white dominance. It's proof of white dependence on stolen labor, on extracted brilliance, on eternal surveillance. If white supremacy were real, right? If it were real, I just want y'all to lock in. If white supremacy were real, the moment slavery ended, so would the fear. But what really happened? It mutated in the black codes, in the lynch mobs, in the redlining, in the mass incarceration. That is not supremacy. That is generational panic dressed up in all your favorite legal language. And let's go to all the arguments, because I truly want you to understand. Jim Crow also is not power. It's a performance. Segregation wasn't about pride. It was about containment. Water fountains, bus seats, lunch counters, all that. None of that was to elevate whiteness. It was to protect it from proximity to things it couldn't have, to keep it from dissolving in the presence of uncolonized joy. It took armies of laws to maintain the illusion of white supremacy. That's how fraudulent it is, because the lie cannot walk unassisted. Jim Crow is not a monument to white strength at all. It is a crutch for a collapsing myth. Let's go some more. Let's talk about the GI Bill. Because they say, but we gave veterans a future. Unless, cool, you can even imagine that. Because they gave veterans a future unless you were black, unless you were indigenous, unless you were part of the very machine that bled for a freedom you never received. Right. I just want to say that, because white veterans got homes, education, lands. You know what black veterans got? They got surveillance, denial, firebombs in their neighborhoods. So what did supremacy do when black bodies served it with honor? It shut the door in their face. That's still not supremacy. It's a grift. Right? That's all a grift, sealed in policy. See, you got to think about it. Because never in your life, never in history has anyone ever encountered this thing. Because if white supremacy was so powerful, why did they flinch at a bus boycott? Why did it suppress a sermon? Why did it panic at a sit-in? Right? Because deep down, you know it, I know it, we all know it. The spell was already breaking. You needed armies, dogs, hoses, and assassins just to stop a song and dignity. And you still lost. I just want to clear that up. You still lost. Supremacy that collapses when a child sings freedom is barely supreme. Barely. It was a curtain held up by the fear. By fear, that's all it is. I want to address a comment. Museums are literally cemeteries. Literally. Cemeteries with a gift shop. That's all it is. You call it heritage, you call it pride, but a museum full of stolen gods isn't history. It isn't. You know what we could call it? It's just a hostage situation. It's a hostage display. You looted entire civilizations, then put their brilliance in glass and called that civilization. I'm just saying that's insane. That none of that is evidence of superiority. I don't even want to call it. It's cultural burglary. It's cultural burglary framed as enlightenment. So I want you to sit with this, especially about the museums, because all of them are global graveyards. Because white supremacy cannot create the sacred. It couldn't create the sacred. It only possesses it. So I want y'all to sit with it like this. Because this shit is hilarious. It is conceptually once you really sit there and think about it. If the United States and white supremacy claim to be Rome, then blackness is the man carrying the cross on his back, not because he was conquered, but because they needed someone to sacred to crucify in public. And that's not empire. That's not even what you've achieved. You haven't even achieved empire. That's how tough the situation is for you. Can't cap. It's performance theology with blood smeared on its very lens that's recording. Slavery was a horror script and Jim Crow was the stage set. And the GI Bill, it got to be your favorite bait and switch. The civil rights backlash, that was a temper tantrum. That was the meltdown. The museums are the credits of the movie that you didn't even write. You ain't even write it. I want to pick a new name for white supremacy. New name. Because I want people to understand it and be able to see it beautifully. It is the longest running identity crisis the world has ever seen. It is the longest running crisis of identity the world has ever seen. Ever. And it doesn't even end with applause. It just ends with the mirror shatters. I'm just saying, we can pull the plug on this one. There's a lot of things we fighting that are real. That is not real.